In this video, we're going to teach you how to disassemble and clean the workhorse of all shotguns, the Remington 870 pump action. First things first, let's make sure there isn't any shells in the chamber, as well as a magazine tube. We don't need any mishaps. We'll start the breakdown by first taking off the magazine cap at the end of the mag tube. It simply unscrews. You may hear some clicking. Don't worry, you're not stripping the threads. It's supposed to sound that way. You can now slide the barrel off the receiver of the shotgun. We're going to remove the forearm assembly next. Turn the shotgun upside down. Look inside for two tabs. There's one on each side. You'll want to press those in as you work the forearm assembly away from the receiver. As that slides out, your bolt and bolt carrier will come with it. Place everything to the side for now. Next up is the trigger assembly. You'll want to make sure the safety is on before taking the trigger assembly off. Use a small punch and tap out the two pins that hold the trigger assembly in place. You can take that out now, or if you're ADD like me, remove the magazine spring first. Honestly, the order doesn't matter here. To remove the magazine spring, twist the magazine spring retainer 90 degrees counterclockwise. You can now remove the retainer and spring. Now, find a parts tray that you can use to keep all the small parts of your firearm in. This is a great place to scrub all the gun's parts without making a mess of your gun cleaning mat, while also allowing these parts to lay there and soak in some CLP. Put your bolt and bolt assembly in the tray. If you haven't taken the trigger assembly out yet, do that now by simply pulling it out from the receiver. Place it in the parts tray to be cleaned as well. Now give everything in your tray a healthy dose of CLP. This isn't the time to be cheap. Lay it on. If your trigger assembly hasn't been cleaned in a while, or it looks like it's really fouled up, you'll want to clean behind the hammer as well. To release the hammer, push down on it, take off the safe, and press the trigger. Now you'll want to slowly release the hammer. Give that new exposed area a spray of your CLP. Give the inside of the receiver a few squirts. End a little on the forearm rails. And of course, you'll want to spray some down both ends of the bore. Check the magazine tube and make sure that it isn't too gunked up. Give the spring a few squirts of CLP as well. We'll pull out our other gun cleaning supplies while we let the CLP do its magic. A set of brush and picks is a must. Some long-stemmed gun cleaning swabs as well. A bore cleaning kit in your 870s gauge. We're using a 12 gauge in this example, so of course that's what we'll use. And last, a rugged gun cleaning cloth to wipe down all surfaces. Now take a gun cleaning brush and give all the parts a good scrubbing. The trigger assembly has a lot of little parts, so take your time here. If your gun cleaning brush has a small end, all the better. Use it to get into those small remote areas. Get all the faces of the bolt carrier. Then the bolt itself. There's a lot of little areas in here as well, so take your time. Be sure to pay special attention to the extractor. If you're having problems ejecting shells, this being gummed up could easily be why. It may be necessary to use a pick as well to get crusted on gunk. Scrape anything off that the brush can't. Picks that are brass tipped are nice, as they are strong enough to clear contaminants away, but won't scratch your gun. Back to the brush. Scrub everything inside the receiver. Then the barrel extension. Get some long-stemmed cotton swabs and get to work on the bolt. You'll be amazed at what comes out of there after it's been sitting in some CLP for a while. Onto the trigger assembly. Again, this is an area with a lot of moving parts, so make sure you work over everything. Once done, you can now push the hammer back to recock it. The long stem gun cleaning swabs also work great inside the receiver. They'll let you get to areas that your gun cleaning cloth won't. Now we'll take a durable gun cleaning cloth and wipe every surface we can get to. Start with the spring. Twisting it helps get all the coils. Wipe down the rails of the forearm assembly. Then you could get all the parts in the tray. We won't bore you by showing you how to wipe down every surface. You get the picture. Now get both the interior and exterior of the gun. You're trying to clear out the remaining carbon and other contaminants that will cause unnecessary wear and tear on your gun. The final step of cleaning will be to pull a bore cleaning kit through the shotgun's bore. Grab the correct gauge for your shotgun. Drop the weight through the bore on the breech end of the barrel. Pull it through. Expect it to be tight. This is what allows the bore cleaning kit to do its work. Once you're done with that, we're going to squirt everything down with a little CLP to keep it well lubricated. This will help prevent premature wear and tear on your firearms. The beauty of using CLP over conventional gun oil is that it also cleans your gun while you're not. Just by being in contact, it will pull carbon out of the metal while being stored in your safe. Okay, now that I'm done waxing poetic on CLP, let's put your Remington 870 shotgun back together. First, let's reinstall the trigger assembly. Push the front end in first. The idea is to line up the corresponding holes on the receiver with the corresponding holes in the trigger assembly. We'll start with the front pin first, once the hole is lined up. Give it a few taps with your mallet to seat it. Now insert the back pin. A tap or so and it should be set. Next, insert the bolt carrier on the forearm rail. Line up the notches. Grab the bolt and seat that into the bolt carrier. Now grab the whole forearm assembly, and we're going to slide it back over the magazine tube. Slide the assembly in until the receiver tabs stop progress. These are the same two tabs you pressed in order to remove the forearm assembly. Reach in and press those tabs while gently pushing the forearm assembly into the receiver. Cycle the pump all the way to the rear by pressing down on the action release. Then push it about halfway forward so that you can easily reinstall the barrel. Slide the barrel guide ring over the magazine tube while keeping an eye that the barrel extension slides into the receiver. Now we'll slide the spring assembly back into the magazine tube. Place the spring retainer on the end of the spring assembly and press it in. Grab something. In this case, we're using a choke tube wrench to push the spring retainer in the tube. Now twist it 90 degrees clockwise. Replace the magazine cap. Cycle the action a few times. It should glide easily. And there you have it, a cleaned and lubricated Remington 870 shotgun. Sage and Breaker, crafted at the highest caliber.